Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Niger Innis Presents The Trump Revolution, a part of the TV Abraham Network. Well, folks, we have a real treat today. We have on a dear friend who's been a friend of mine for more than 30 years. I'm ashamed to say it. You got to keep our age a secret. But Joseph Diamond is a Brooklyn-born writer and one of the best our country has produced. His commentary has appeared in City Journal, Newsmax, Police Magazine, and various other outlets exploring the intersection of criminal justice, civic life, and American ideology. Well, we're going to take a little jump from what Joe normally talks about to get into the sphere of the international arena. And then really, we have to ask the question, is it really a jump? Because Joe, for all the years we've known each other, you've discussed the criminal mindset and how we can push back against it. And it seems like we've got the same type of phenomenon, but internationally, in Islamic Jihad and the ideology driven by the Muslim Brotherhood network and ideology. So let's talk about its, as you put it, its latest outpost. Joe wrote a wonderful article in the Jerusalem Strategic Tribune about this crisis in Boko Haram and murdering and slaughtering and oppressing Christians in northern Nigeria, to Hamas and Gaza, which of course has gotten a great deal of attention, and
in America, on the streets of New York
that's right,
City
and
itself.
of course the ideology visiting the
Yeah,
United States of America on college campuses.
visiting is a nice word. Yeah, visiting. It's a peaceful
Yeah,
visit.
yeah. Hopefully not a permanent visitor. But yeah, let's jump right into. Let's start with northern Nigeria, Joe.
So we see jihadism spreading. It's, as you said, the Muslim, or as we've said, the Muslim Brotherhood. Is spreading its poison through through the world. Africa, Africa being in the Middle East, or being part of the Middle East, obviously is in close proximity. We see the unification of Iranian money, warlords, right? Warlords with their violence and their militancy, and the ideology, right? The hatred, the intellectual underpinnings, the justification for murder, for mass violence. It's a new form of Nazism. It's a totalizing ideology.
Yeah, you didn't make this point in the article, but in our conversations, you made an intriguing point of comparing the Muslim Brotherhood ideology and its various cousins, if you will, or children around the world being akin to Nazism. Dive into that a little bit more. What are the similarities?
Well, so totalitarianism as a whole, that type of all or nothing ideology. We saw this with the communists also, with what was the International,
Yes.
not the Politburo, but the worldwide communist movement. It was Stalin trying to spread the tentacles throughout the world, right? The Cold War was all about that.
Yeah,
It
of
was
course.
at the West pushing back against these tentacles. This is now happening with, it's been happening a long time with militant Islam. We want to distinguish between Islam as a faith, between Muslims, who either practice Islam or don't. This is something, it's like there were in Germany, there were plenty of people who despised Hitler. There were plenty of Germans who wanted nothing to do with the worst excesses of Nazism. And they were victims also. So this is something, how they say the revolution.
That's a point I don't want our audience to miss, and it's an excellent point that you raised, which is that yes, Hamas is oppressing. Certainly, October 7th was the greatest manifestation of them oppressing and attacking Israelis, but actually, the people they have more contact with to oppress are their fellow Muslims who just happen to not be a part of Hamas.
And we see this going on now in the wake of the ceasefire. right? Hamas and other militant groups are now dividing the spoils. Hamas is now, from what, again, we need to check this, but Hamas is now engaged in a civil war against its own people. And again,
Yeah.
I want to say something.
Revenge killings, revenge
Revenge.
assassinations taking place in Gaza now that the Israelis have pulled back a little bit. I mean that is the tragedy and the horror of these organizations, be it Hamas in Gaza, be it Hezbollah in southern Lebanon, be it Boko Haram in Nigeria, or be it the Sudanese army with the ideological underpinnings of the Muslim Brotherhood, matched with Iranian money and their dictatorship.
Yeah, and they see the world in basically two shades, black and white, right? It's like you're either with us or you're against us, and if you're against us, you have no reason to be on Earth.
Yeah,
You know, there's
that is a frightening phenomenon. Yeah, one of the words that came up in one of your last answers is tentacles, and let's talk again, refocus our audience and let them not lose focus on the tentacle or octopus that the Muslim Brotherhood is all around the world. The Muslim Brotherhood actually started out as a semi-political organization almost a century ago in
yes.
Egypt, but it has devolved quickly into an ideology that not only promotes jihad, but promotes violence and death.
It's an ideology of all-consuming hatred, and it's funny because all the Abrahamic faiths, including Islam, were basically came into being to be against this type of thinking, right? That like the Abrahamic idea is one of world peace.
Yes.
Said God is one. We're all family of God. Cain and Abel, right? Like that. The lesson was there in the beginning of the Bible. It's like, do not take arms up against your brother.
Yes, yes. Excellent point. Excellent point. And one, as we're wrapping up, let me give you the last word here. What is the best way, since you compare the Muslim Brotherhood to the Nazis? There was a program you always talk about, the denazification of Germany
Yes.
after World War II. Does something like that need to take place in the
Yeah.
Islamic world?
Yeah, but it's got to be a global effort, right? Like, America can't come in there and say, this is what you have to believe. Israel can't come in and say, you have to believe this. But obviously, America and Israel and anyone who has a stake in a peaceful world as opposed to a world in pieces, because
Yeah,
that's
yeah, no, perfectly put. I mean, look, this show is named TV Abraham Network, rather, is named
Abraham.
after
Exactly.
the Abrahamic Accords, and that
Right.
promotes a
Which,
vision that's not just good for the United States and Israel, but for our Arab allies as well. It promises to bring them into the umbrella of peace and prosperity, which is the cause of
yeah, of the international order, right? Or at least the order that we tried to set up after World War II, right? An order of reason, an
yeah.
order of progress, an order against totalitarianism. Yeah, we're failing. We're failing abysmally. I mean, the world is failing abysmally here.
No, there's
Um,
no question. And unfortunately, on that a bit of a bitter sweet note, we have to end this program. Thank you, Joseph Diamond. Joe, for those who want to reach out to you directly or follow your latest writings, where should they go?
well, you can do it through the TV Abraham website, right? There's links to the
Yep.
article, and yeah, yes, you can find me on social media and LinkedIn. But I'll provide more contact information as we go further.
That sounds good. Thank you, Joseph Diamond. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And thank you for being a part of another episode of Niger Innis Presents the Trump Revolution, a part of the TB Abraham Network. And we talk a lot in this episode about ideology. Well, the ideology that I'd like to say underpins and gives foundation to the TV Abraham Network and Niger Innis Presents the Trump Revolution is something my great civil rights icon father said many years ago to me. He said, Niger, always pursue the TLC principle. And he didn't mean tender love and care. He meant truth, logic, and courage. Thanks again,
All right.
Joe. Take care.